Hello everyone, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to another video. This is a video log for what's up January 2025. I usually do this video logs to keep my Patreons from patreon.com/psenough up to date with the things that I've been working on and what I'm planning to work on next, so they know where their money is being funneled to. And it also helps me figure out summarize what I have been doing and plan a bit better what I'm supposed to be doing on the coming few weeks. So I try to record them monthly. Sometimes I skip, sometimes I don't. Anyways, January been very busy so far. I just came back from a revision demo party that was happening in Belgium, and I came down with the sickness. I'm starting to get another flu. Probably due to the cold temperatures and stuff. I don't think it's like COVID related or anything, just the regular flu. But we brought back with us some beer, we brought back some chocolates, we brought back some Lego. I did the trip with the whole family, spent way more money than I was expecting to do on food and the hotels. I mean, the hotels were not that expensive in Belgium, but the food definitely was, probably because of the location. Like breakfast being 16 euros at the hotel is just ridiculous per person. I don't know, maybe that's common in the rest of Europe. In Portugal it feels like overpriced, but I don't know, I'm used to cheaper prices than that. Or maybe I should have gotten better deals on booking to have the breakfast included or something, I don't know. Anyways, location was pretty good for the party. That was the main reason why we decided to go to Rsync, was just flying from Lisbon, arrive at Zaventem, and then catch the train directly there, and we exit right at the party place, and there are tons of hotels around, so very easy to access. That was very cool. My wife always wants to travel everywhere, and we thought this 5 years old is a good enough age for the kid to start traveling with us without very big logistical issues behind it. I mean, they can travel earlier, but we try to avoid it when it's like very long trips if we can. So yeah, we brought the kid along, they sightseed a little bit, went to Lego store, went to random stuff. We also went to the party place, all three of us, and had some fun there, had some good talks. We had no problems with the general strike on Monday at all, which was really good. A lot of people were talking about that. It was great to see old friends again and have some talks. Pody and Triple X were there, which I was not expecting, so it was really cool to see some Evoke Orga friends again. Node Pond and TMC, we also had some talk with them. A good talk with Super Rogue about all kinds of different things, and the Love Bite organizing stuff as well. Talked with Truck, which I hadn't seen in a long time. I talked with Poke of Flush for the first time in person. That was really cool as well. He talked a lot about Shadow Party and organizing parties and stuff like that. I talked with Stefast as well, had a very good talk with him as well, and really cool Amiga demo that he presented there as well. I talked with Necro, which I always see around in different parties, and I know for a while he offered me a version of the calendar that they printed, which I already talked about on the demo scene report, but it's really cool to see it live. A lot of very good images. The reflection here doesn't give it justice, but really a lot of cool images. I'm definitely going to hang this up, probably here in the corner. I have to put a nail there, but yeah, really cool. Thank you very much, Necro, for this. So yeah, really cool to meet a lot of people that I sometimes only see like once, twice a year. So talk with Neo and Mido about the secret project that they are cooking. More about that eventually in the future. I had a great talk with Danko as well, which was really cool. I had already met him before, but we actually managed to sit down and have a proper talk about different things, and he gave me some feedback on the demo scene report as well. So it was really cool. Talk with Tio, with Adelon, with Blala, a lot of folks from Hungary, which are currently residing in Germany, from what I understood. A lot of other people also around. It was a pretty good party in terms of international attendance for the small numbers it had. I think it had like 50 people, little over 50 people. maybe like 20 were Belgium, something like that. I don't have the exact stats, but that's what it felt like. A lot of people from Holland, a lot of people from Germany, people from all over the place. So it's really cool in that regard. Managed to talk with a lot of people, and that's one of the good things about these smaller parties. You have more time to speak with people that at like parties like Revision you don't have time to speak with at all. So that was pretty cool overall. Still didn't manage to talk with everyone that I wanted. I said hello, goodbye, and little more than that. Other people I only saw, like I saw Aki, I didn't even manage to say hello to her, for example. Anyways, I'm getting off script. Talked with Tole, talked with Reality Violet, Emphys, Yuvi, Seven as well. Wish I had more time to speak with Seven. When we finally had time, I was already too tired and wanting to go to sleep. But he had a nice 4K at the competition as well. Met Arlekin and Los Pat Morita from Argentina, which was really cool. I had already met Uktumi and a few other Argentinian demo sceners, but I hadn't met Arlekin before, I think, and Los Pat Morita either. And Los Pat Morita even gave me a Mega Drive disc, which has a QR code on the back where I can download the digital one. So a music disc made entirely for the Mega Drive, and he gave me a copy. Thank you so much. He also played this Cumbia Game Boy set at like late in the party while people were waiting for the prize giving, which started a bit weird. Like he was in a total party mood and everybody was like just chilled out from the compo. But then a few random German seniors, which I will not say any names of, Toby, decided to go on stage drunk and start dancing to the music, and it just became a whole thing. At the end of the concert, there were like 10 people on stage dancing, and and they did a conga line and everything. It became an insane concert. Like it was just a funny cumbia themed sort of thing. For those who know what cumbia is, it's like a kind of grassroots kind of sound from Argentina, like has this not reggaeton vibe, but it has like a sway sort of thing, and he did a lot of cover tracks in that kind of mood using Game Boys, so that was like the gimmick behind it. So yeah, people really got into it, and it was very funny to see. I was too tired to join in, but it was really funny. So yeah, nice little set. I think there were quite a few other sets as well. Felice did a good DJ set. Bakter did a very cool DJ set the previous night as well. Emphys did a live set that I missed using Game Boys, but I was eating at the time, but I also heard about that. So yeah, a lot of cool small live events happened throughout the party as well, not just the competitions, which was cool. The space was relatively small. The hall was bigger than last year from what I understood from the organizers. It's okay for the number of people that it currently has. If it keeps growing for next year, we'll definitely need a bigger place than that. But it was all right for the most part. It did its job well. What else? I delivered the Synergy tapes that I had to deliver to Super Rogue and Gasman. If I had known Aki was going, I would have taken hers as well. Synergy was the party that I helped organize with the Load ZX Museum last year in 2024 around May, I think. And we did like a tape with all of the ZX Spectrum entries that were submitted to the competitions and showcases there. So we put everything together. Well, Lord Cox's put everything together, and then we gave to Philippe to do a tape master of, and then the LoZX Museum did a lot of tape printing of that, tape recordings of those, like duplicating the tapes. Some of them were badly encoded. They had to re-encode, so that took a lot of time. So almost like 9 months later, we finally have those tapes ready, and I've been distributing them to the people who asked me for one. And some are going in the mail as well. I know a few people watch this channel who have asked me for one. So yeah. And if you want one at Revision, you can also ping me, and I'll take you one for Revision. What else? I'm sure I'm forgetting to name drop a few people that I talked with and said hello to. Apologies in advance. It was a pretty good party overall in terms of international attendance. I think they should be really happy about that. The competitions themselves were all right as well. The main releases of the party for me were the Tripan Fantasy console demo, which was pretty solid, and Steffest's demo for Amiga, which was quite surprising that he did everything himself. We only know Steffest for drawing. Well, he also codes his own tool for drawing, so he clearly knows coding. But I hadn't seen him code on the Amiga before, and it was pretty solid demo. I thought it was like a Desire demo, not just the Fest demo. Pretty solid demo. I thought he would win the competition. He didn't win because he got second place to a tribute demo to P2, who sadly passed away in 2024. But a pretty solid demo nonetheless. What else? The graphics competitions were pretty solid as well. They had a few good releases in there, both the text art and regular graphics competitions. Music Compo didn't want me to walk out, which is what I usually do at the music competition, so that was a pretty good win. Without looking stuff up, I only recall that Violet did this surprise EDM track, which I was not expecting her to do, a track in that style. It was pretty solid for an EDM track. I remember a reggaeton module from Los Patmarita, which I recall because it was funny. It was like so different from the rest of the entries. Very experimental track, which I don't remember who did it. No structure whatsoever. I was sitting next to Danko. We were just looking at each other like, why? Why? I was laughing my ass off. It was very funny. And Danko's winner Autobahn track, I also remember that, pretty solid track as well. And worthy winner of the competition, I believe. Everything else is pretty much a blur of me preventing my kid from playing in the middle of the place where people with beers are trying to go through, so I don't remember much else of the music competition at that point. I also did a small filler entry for the Fantasy console. I guess I can talk a little bit about that. So I was trying to do a more story-based demo, and I did like the starting scene, which was the shark going back and forth, and then the sun was bleeping, and I was trying to do like a 1K out of it with music track using Crackle Tracker from Pestis. I wasn't completely happy with the track, but I was starting to get some progression involved in it, but I wasn't happy with the melody. I was thinking when the dinner party was happening here, I would ask Genio to give me some hints on how to improve the melody, but then we didn't get around to that. I just completely forgot about it. So I wasn't happy with the melody, I wasn't happy with the track, I was running out of time, I was too lazy to do tracks, I had some technical issues that I would have to debug if I kept going as I was, so I decided to pivot. And the pivot that I did was a much more simplified version of the track that could fit into a 512 byte. And then do just a one-screen thing out of that with some enhanced border effects and stuff like that, which people probably didn't even notice, didn't really know that it's not natively possible on Fantasy console. A pro tip for organizing people out there: when you have a party system that doesn't have a subwoofer and you hear some bass sounds and you crank up the volume to the maximum, please also remember to crank it down once the highs start hitting and everyone starts saying, "Ah, my ears!" That's not very good. If people are complaining that their ears are being raped, you should probably decrease it a little bit to tolerable listening levels. So yeah, that kind of ruined the presentation of the intro a little bit, but I'm not that bitter about it. It is what it is. It was a filler entry anyways. I wasn't expecting to win anything, but it would have been nice to be properly presented. I guess I could have predicted that the highs would be a lot higher than the bass and try to make it a bit more normalized, although normalizing audio volume in TK80 is not that trivial. I think there's a value for that, but it also affects the pitch of it. Last time I checked, I could be wrong, I don't know, I would have to double check stuff. Anyways, that's what I did. I spent a few days on that, so I don't know. I guess it was okay. It was my main objective was to have something for the party, so I wouldn't go there without any production. Still felt a bit like a waste of time. Like I could have used my time in doing other things that I have a lot to do of. But it was nice to be creative again, even though it didn't pan out fully as I wanted. Anyways. Nice breakfast hangout on Sunday as well at the party, and then I spent an extra day on Brussels on Monday as well. Kid went sightseeing, Lego shop, and made the racket because he was helping build some 18 plus years old set with a store person who was doing stuff for display, and the kid was there helping him with that, and everyone was impressed, apparently, from what my wife told me. We didn't have any problem with the strikes, as I mentioned. The train to the airport was running fine, no delays. I saw other cancels on other stuff, but ours was fine. And the airport itself, some flights were canceled. Ours was not affected, just the usual delays that always happens on late night flights from TAP going back to Portugal. So within the norm. Still have time for a final beer, final shopping of chocolates and stuff. So yeah. Good party overall, fun, but a bit expensive, probably because of the locations, like being in hotels in the center of the city is more expensive than usual, especially for the food part, I mean. But yeah, expensive food, but good food in Belgium, so which was a better surprise than the previous Belgian experiences that I had. So I managed to pick restaurants better this time, which was good. Good beer, as usual in Belgium. We brought a few with us back, so yeah. Good weekend, just I'm tired as hell, so now I need more holidays. Now I'm back home, and the only thing that I have to do before the end of the month is to unpack and clean everything, prep and record the Demoscene report for this week, which I'm procrastinating by recording this video, prep and record the year highlights video, which I haven't even started looking at all the productions of the year, and I just need to do a dump of all the parties and all the entries and check everything, which usually takes a couple of days, and then record the video talking about everyone, and then edit the video to add the videos of the entries while I'm talking about them, which is always like at least a week of work, and I'm already getting tired just thinking about it. But I should do that now while it's like still January, right? Because it's the year's recap, and if I wait for Meteorics to be Meteoric nominees to be out, then it no longer makes much sense to be doing a year highlights video anymore, and I will just end up not doing it at all. So I'm trying to kick myself to do it this month. Will it happen? I don't know. Let's see. I need to respond to the Meteorics jury duty pings as well, because I'm supposed to help out on something, and I have barely looked at the Slack so far, and I promised Dojo that I would. I need to reschedule this month's momentum meetup, because apparently I'm organizing it again, and we're trying to do it here in Almada, but I need to figure out days that don't clash with other events that are happening and that Genio can also attend, because it's nice to have Genio attending. So yeah, I'm trying to figure that out as well. Might be this coming weekend, might be, I don't know, so we'll see. I need to take care of that as well. Need to finish the Enough Records website migration to the Jekyll GitHub pages. So Enough Records has this website dependency on React from 10 years ago or something like that, which I can't even compile on Windows. So whenever I need to do a site to update, I need to go to the back end on PHP MySQL from legacy days. Enter the data there, export a JSON file with all of the information, and then locally compile the webified version of the React build on a Mac, because it only runs on a fucking Mac, and I can't even upgrade the system of React. If I upgrade to a new version of React, it stops working. New versions of Browserify, so I would need to remodel everything, and I fucking hate React. I never liked React. It was Dan that did this website originally. He did all of the stuff, and I just, yeah, thank you for doing the website. I guess we will use React because that's what you built it on. So yeah, I'm cleaning that up, and I'm maintaining the look. For now, I'm planning to upgrade it at some point. If there's any designer out there, web designer, that would like to reshift our CSS to modernize it a little bit, please get in touch. I would very much love to change the look a little bit, to modernize it a bit more, just because people are so used to the old version. So yeah, trying to convert all of that to GitHub pages using Jekyll, so it's like a static site, not reliant on any backend as well. And any new entries, I just added the JSON, like a new entry on the JSON file. That's the idea. I'm halfway through being executed. I did the main pages ready. I did the releases page, which was probably would be the more complex one, because it needs to create like over 500 entries for everything. So I had to do a script to do that out of the JSON file that we already have. Now I need to do the text articles, the other pages talking about the radio, and the general about page of the net label. And maybe think of additional. Well, the search needs to still be working, so people can search stuff, filter stuff by genre of music. The player needs to work as well, but I think I can do that entirely with JavaScript HTML5 audio. Let's see if I can get that working easily or not. But yeah, I need a few days to work on this, and I hate doing website stuff, so I always procrastinate it like hell. I've been procrastinating for the last 6-7 years. I've been wanting to upgrade it, so I finally decided to do it, but I picked the wrong time of the year. Well, it's always the wrong part of the year. There's always something else that I want to do, so I figured, okay, now is a good time. I'm changing some stuff on the core of the database. I have problems accessing. There's some uncertainty with the hosting at the scene.org as well. So it's good to migrate it out of scene.org completely. Just rely on GitHub pages and have a static site instead of having a PHP MySQL backend, which is not even needed for the current version. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I'm halfway done, need to finish it up, and that's the problem with websites. They're never quite completely finished. Then I need to prep and record the opening ceremony for Lovebite, which is in the middle of February, so it needs to be done in January, so we have time to see if there's anything wrong. I need to prep and record the tiny size intro highlights of 2024. So I not only need to do best highlights of the year for the entire Demoscene things that happened, I also need to do one specifically for only the tiny size coding stuff, which is not that hard. Once I do the work for all of the entries, I can just filter it for the size coding stuff. And I already know which ones are the most interesting ones. I can ask SuperRogue and a few other people if I'm missing any, hidden gem. But overall, I have a good idea of what are the parties that usually have those competitions, and the ones that were good release and the ones that were released outside the party that merit being listed. So should not be that hard, but it's always more video editing work that always takes like at least a couple more days than I would usually expect. And that usually is fine, but when I'm doing weekly Demoscene reports, which always takes 1 or 2 days as well, I'm starting to run out of days of the week to do all of these things. And apparently I had this brilliant idea to do some vignette filler videos for the blind date concept of Lovebite, which I'm not going to spoil for you, but apparently since I had the idea, I have to script some examples and try to poke people to see if they want to help out on that. So that's one more item on my to-do list that I need to do as soon as possible, so to have time to be prepared before February. So I need to ping everyone, not everyone, I need to ping Revision Live Coding Events team to make sure that everything is being pre-planned properly. The usual stuff that we did last year with some changes, and this reminds me that I need to ping them about changing the spot where we do the commentary in particular, so we don't use the scene set corner, and we have a back place to still see preview and still listen and be able to commentate on the stuff that is closer to the Beam team, so we can communicate better, but we still have the preview of the whatever is being shown. So yeah, I need to talk with probably C-Rex about that to figure that out. Need to make sure that Tifty is on board, that Kuzma is on board for commentating, and need to figure out all of the people who will be participating, which might still be too early to do that. But yeah, need to be on top of that. Want to relay as much of that as possible to Totetmat, because he was very hands-on last year, and I think he did a good job planning things. So if he wants to take the job, by all means, take the job. I could use all the free time that I get. What else? I need to finish reading the current book that I'm reading, which is this one, William Gibson's Spook Country, which I've been reading very slowly. I'm only like halfway done, and the reason that I'm trying to speed through this one is to have time to read these two in particular. This one because it was sent to me by the author and I want to read it to give it a proper review, and this might be interesting to my Demoscene followers as well. Talks about Commodore 64 history, and yeah, want to give it a proper read so I can give like a review or about it as well. And this one because I wrote a short story for it, and there's a presentation at the library on the 8th of February in Lisbon. If you're in the area, please drop by. It would be nice to talk about it. And this is like what's the exact word? Alternate history fiction story, and this is the volume 2 of this wine punk world where wine was the catalyst for something emerging on the invented or the extended period revolution. When we brought down the dictatorship, there was a re-implementation of the republic at some point, and the monarchy in Portugal tried to overthrow that. And this was right after World War I or World War II? World War I, I think. Or maybe it was... I'm not sure anymore. Anyways, I would need to look up the dates and recheck. Anyways, it tries to reimagine that period to be lengthier and tell some completely made-up story, fictional stories in that imagined world where wine punk was like a catalyst for new discoveries and powering things. So that is the premise and the call for authors that happened. I participated in Volume 2, I got accepted, I did some rewrites and stuff. It's going to be presented now. I want to be able to read all of the other things. I already read like 2 of them or 3 of them in... quick read while I was proofreading the final version, checking if the layouts were okay and stuff, but I didn't fully read it with proper attention, and that's what I want to do now before of the meetup, so I can talk with the other authors, like knowing what they actually wrote properly, not just, you know, skimming through the text. So that's what I want to do. Will I have time to do it? Who knows? Anyways, yeah. So those were my holidays, and now I need some holidays so I can do some work. Yeah, one thing at a time. That's the key. Just do one thing at a time. Start clicking stuff off the to-do list, and eventually you will reach Valhalla. Anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you found it useful. If you do find value on these things that I do for free, do consider sponsoring me for patreon.com/psenough. Whatever you are willing to donate will help me pay for expenses. I do have a side hustle as a label owner where I get some little money to help pay the bills, but content creation is my main form of living at the moment. I also rent the previous apartment that I lived on, so that also helps pay the bills and all the childcare funds that are needed. But my main focus in terms of what is your job is content creation for this channel. So if you see value in it, please consider supporting me accordingly so I can start hiring people to do some of the boring editing, video editing stuff for it. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. That's one of the ideas that floated around. So yeah, hope you're having a great day. See you next video, which probably is also today, about the Demoscene report, or tomorrow with the Demoscene report for this week. Bye bye everybody, take care.